In this bulletin, the New South Wales COVID outbreak spreads to the state's parliament and Victoria. South Australia passes a voluntary assisted dying law, and a call for athletes to be allowed to protest human rights issues away from the podium at the Beijing Winter Olympics. This is SBS News. I'm Philippa Carisbrook. The New South Wales Premier has been identified as a casual contact to a positive COVID-19 case at the state's Parliament House. The New South Wales Agriculture Minister Adam Marshall tested positive, and the state's Health Minister Brad Hazzard is in self-isolation as a close contact. Gladys Berejiklian says she was interviewed by health authorities and tested for COVID early this morning and has since returned a negative result. Ms Berejiklian says her level of concern about the current outbreak is medium to high.
Since the pandemic has started, this is perhaps the scariest period that New South Wales is going through, and Dr Chan and I are of equal view of that. It is a very contagious variant, but at the same time, we are at this stage comfortable that the settings that are in place are the appropriate settings, but that's so long as everybody does the right thing.
New South Wales has recorded 11 new cases since 8 last night, but all but one of those are linked to the existing outbreak. Meanwhile, a man aged in his 60s has tested positive for coronavirus in Melbourne after flying back from Sydney. Victoria's Health Minister Martin Foley says all of the man's primary close contacts have been identified and are currently being tested.
He attended his daughter's house in a green zone in Sydney at an event on Saturday night and came back to Melbourne on Sunday evening on a flight. On Tuesday at about 10 p.m, he began showing symptoms and was tested on Wednesday. The department was notified this morning of the positive result. He is currently feeling unwell and is being supported by the public health team.
Victoria has declared all of Greater Sydney and Wollongong as red zones. Queensland has recorded 3 new locally acquired COVID-19 cases, all linked to a flight attendant who tested positive after dining at a Brisbane restaurant. The South Australian Parliament has passed a bill to legalise voluntary assisted dying. The historic bill passed as a conscience vote late this morning and will allow eligible residents with a terminal illness to end their own lives. It's the 17th time South Australia has tried to legislate on the issue in about 25 years. It makes South Australia the 4th state in the country to legalise euthanasia after Victoria, Tasmania and Western Australia all passed similar laws in the past few years. Former President of the Philippines, Benigno Aquino, has died in hospital in Manila at the age of 61. He was the son of 2 of the country's democracy icons and led the nation from 2010 to 2016. In sport, former Olympic champion, American Lindsey Vonn, is advocating for athletes to be allowed to protest away from the podium at the Winter Olympics over human rights issues. The 2010 skiing gold medalist says protests at the Beijing Games can be a major catalyst for change.
If athletes want to boycott, that's their prerogative and their right. You're on the podium with 2 other people that have equally given their life to be in that position. You don't want to take away from that, from their victory and from their success. So I think in the way that the Olympics has struck that balance is a good one, without losing the history and the respect of the games, but also, again, giving them the opportunity to speak their mind.
And now for tomorrow's weather forecast. Perth mostly sunny 18, Adelaide showers 14, Melbourne much the same 14, Hobart shower or 2 13, Canberra showers 12, Wollongong mostly sunny 20, Sydney similar conditions 19, Newcastle mostly sunny 20, Brisbane rain at times 20, Cairns partly cloudy 27, Darwin also cloudy 31. I'm Philippa Carisbrook. This is SBS News.